Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. So, welcome you all for today's very nice shloka of Bhagavad Gita. It is 3.18 we are going to discuss. So, are we all okay with English, or shall I use a mix of both? Or Hindi, anything? Mix of both is okay, Prabhu? Okay. So, we'll begin with Mangala Charan. This is only in Hindi, and then we can use both mix. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya. We can read together. Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnamascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatam Vitam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Amitam Sha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Bevascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namaum Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Mukam Karuti Vachalam, Pangum Rangaite Grim, Yat Kripatamam Vande, Shri Guru Dindaranam, Paramananda Madhvam, Sri Chaitanya. So, once again, welcome you all, and today, we'll start with Bhagavad Gita 3.18 Shloka. This before we start, as usual, we will discuss what are we going to learn today, how this shloka is going to change our life, and what we should take away with us after the end of the session. So with that mood, with that prayer, we will begin today's discussion, right? So this shloka is going to tell us how, when we elevate and do our sadhana sincerely, then the usual problems that comes in our way, they no more affect us, and there are so many byproducts which we are not looking behind, but those byproducts, as the result of doing bhakti, they comes in by themselves. So one word that we are going to focus on is byproduct. Byproduct of bhakti is going to give us so many things. So we'll start today's shloka. Please repeat after me. Navatasya kritenartho. Navatasya kritenartho. Navatasya kritenartho. Nakrite neha kaschana. Nakrite neha kaschana. Nakrite neha kaschana. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Kaschid artha vyapasharah. Kaschid artha vyapasharah. Kaschid artha vyapasharah. Yes, we'll read together in one go. Navatasya kritenartho. Nakrite neha kaschana. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Kaschid artha vyapasharah. Any Prabhuji want to read? Kritenartho. Nakrite neha kaschana. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Vyapasharah. Yes, Prabhuji. Kaschid artha vyapasharah. Yes, any more Prabhuji want to read? Navatasya kritenartho. Nakrite neha kaschana. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Kaschid artha vyapasharah. You want to try, Prabhu? Navatasya kritenartho. Nakrite neha kaschana. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Kaschid artha vyapasharah. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you want to read the translation? Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu.
A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend upon any other living being.
Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. So, as we see from the translation, a self-realized man. So, when somebody asks what is the purpose of all the yogas, reading all the scriptures, doing any kind of karma yoga, then dhyana yoga, okay, hatha yoga, anything, any kind of yoga, any kind of austerity, any kind of vrta, whatever we do in our life, what is the ultimate purpose of doing all of them? Why do we do that? We all have been following it by ourselves, by when our parents request, when our friends do, we have been doing it. But what is the purpose actually that we are looking behind? So, yes, Prabhu.
To lift our consciousness from material to God consciousness.
Yes, Prabhu. Haribol. Nice, Prabhu. Very good, Prabhu. Yes. So, when our consciousness elevates from materialistic consciousness, as you rightly said, to a spiritual consciousness, then what how it helps to us? We can progress in our bhakti.
What and all miseries we get in the
Yes.
material world,
Yes.
we can sustain that miseries.
Yes.
Some people nowadays, young youth, and grown up parents are getting suicide and all those
Yes.
materialistic they are doing.
Yes.
If we lost the 100 crores of our business also,
True.
we must be capable. If we are in spiritual path, then only we can
Face.
sustain our life.
Yes.
Otherwise, we will commit. Like example, like coffee cafe owner Siddharth got suicide. So much of money has been done. His
Yes.
wife now running that one
Yes.
with the
Yes.
offer, with clearing that one loans and all.
Very true.
If you are in path, like
Yes.
Mata is also
Yes.
they are also running the businesses.
That's true. So means we can face any failure in the life and even the success. Sometimes we end up making more mistakes when we are successful, right? Because when we are sad, we will at least not trouble more people. We will be either doing these kind of like problems, and so when we are in success mode, we end up even troubling others. So can I say the purpose of all the austerity, all the bhakti is, as you said, to elevate our consciousness and then to self-realize, right? We can see who we really are, what is the purpose of our life, why we have been sent, why there are so many people around us, what is the purpose? Everybody is running here. We see so much of traffic, so many cars, aeroplanes, anywhere we go, so many people are there. They are running here to there. But what is the actual ultimate purpose? Are we also come here to run? If that is the case, so many people are there around us, they are running. After some time, many people are leaving also every day. Is that the purpose of the life? Probably not, because had running been the purpose, tiger would have been most elevated because they can run super fast, right? And there are more species which can even run faster than tigers, right? So running is not the purpose. At least up to here we are clear. So now, what is self-realization? This word looks very, very heavy. No problem, Prabhu. This word looks, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You want to sit? You can, Prabhu. So when we say self-realization, the word looks very, very heavy. Okay? Self-realization. How? First of all, I am told I am not this body. I am something else. Soul I cannot see. So in the beginning, when we hear the word self-realization, it has a inherent, very heavy meaning inside, right? But to be honest, the most easiest thing in this world is to be self-realized. Because when we have to say truth, we don't have to think twice, right? Truth is only once. But when we have to hide something, then we have to think. We have to put so many of extra wrong information to hide the truth. Our real identity, our real self-realization is that one truth, which is very obvious. If we just remove the outer covering of all the false identification. What is false identification? We designate ourselves that I am so and so, right? Son of so and so parents, right? I am working in so and so company, right? I am an Indian, I am a male, I am in Bangalore, right? All these are material designations. What is material designation? The one which is not permanent, which is going to fade away as soon as my body fades away. I don't know in my next life what species I will be. Has this name, okay, been my real identity, I should have been having the same name in all my lives. But this name, body, skin, anything that I'm seeing, it will die in no time, right? We don't even know. Parikshit Maharaj at least was so fortunate that he knew in 7 days he is going to die, right? We have no idea whether we have next 7 minutes or not. And problematic part is we are saying, we are counting this as our permanent. So coming back to self-realization. truth is only one. Okay. So what is our real identity? Is that we are. Okay. So the person, coming back to the translation now, a self-realized person, okay, has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties. So why such a person does not need to perform any prescribed duty? What is prescribed duty? Prescribed duty is what is mentioned in our scriptures. That, for example, in Bible there are 10 commandments, 10 rules, the most basic rules. One of the rule says, "Thou shall not kill," means we should not kill anybody. This is one of the rule in Bible. Like that, every scripture has there are certain do's and don'ts. So a self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duty. It means whatever is being mentioned in the Vedas, he does not need to follow. Prescribed duties are those which are mentioned in the Vedas. And a person who is self-realized, this shloka, very first line is saying, he does not need to follow the Vedas. Is there something typing mistake or something like, no, right? I mean, let us try to understand what Prabhupada, what Krishna is trying to say here. So, when we take this rule that we should not kill anybody, 100% it is true. We must not kill. The Vedas are the absolute truth. It can never be false. We must not doubt. How a person who is self-realized does not need to do his prescribed duty, that we will try to understand now. Are we in sync up to here? Are there any question? We are okay up to here, right? Okay. So when we say we should not kill anybody, we will take the example of Mrigari. He was a hunter, and his family business that he had got into the inheritance was to kill animal half dead. Not kill. Kill half and leave. Since beginning, he was taught then when the animal is half dead and when they are in pain, he used to enjoy it more. That has been taught to him since beginning. And he had been following it for years. Okay. Now when he meets Narad Muni, we have heard this story, Mrigari story, all of us? No. So, Hare Krishna. Yes. Prabhuji, you want to sit if you want to, after the darshan. Thank you. So when Lord Narada meets Mrigari, he says, first of all, you should not kill animal. He said, it is my family business. I cannot stop it immediately. So Naradji, being the topmost guru, all these big names that we have heard in our scriptures, be it Prahlada, be it Dhruva Maharaj, be it Valmiki, be it Vyasadeva, all of them have their spiritual master, their guru as Naradji. Okay? So we know in what hand Mrigari is now. Okay? Naradji cannot go without making any impact, right? So he says, okay, if you want to kill, but don't leave them half dead. And with the association of Naradji, that same Mrigari, over a period of some time, okay, when he comes with his friend, Naradji comes with his friend, he sees that same Mrigari who was killing big animals as half dead is now jumping here and there while walking on the earth. And then when Naradji asks, why are you jumping? He says, I am just worried. There are some ants passing from this place. I should not step on them by mistake. What has happened? He used to enjoy a lot seeing the animals in pain. Now he is worried about those small ants. The same person in 6 months by the association of Narada Muni. Why we are discussing this story here? Because the rule that one should not kill animal, it is very important rule. We should not kill. But when a person is self-realized, like Mrigari, okay, do we need to tell him now that you should not kill animal? No, not animal. He is worried for even the small ants. He will automatically not do those things. So a person who is at the self-realized platform will see Krishna in everybody. He will see them as part and parcel of the Lord. Forget the question of killing. When Jesus was crucified, he was praying for others. What to, right? When we can take, there are Prahlada, his father was killing him so many times, he was trying to kill him. But at the end, when Lord Narasimhadeva appears and he asks him for the boon, he says, if at all you want to give me boon, please give me the blessing that my father should not be punished. So these are the person who are the self-realized. We do not need to tell them, you do this duty. They are always in constant touch with the Lord. Okay? So, I told you in the beginning, today we are going to learn one word, byproduct. When we are at the self-realization platform, all the rules, all the regulations which are mentioned in the scriptures are automatically coming into us. Somebody might teach kids, which is very important, we should not lie, we should be punctual. All those things, there are 26 qualities which are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter. 26 qualities of a devotee. A person who is at the self-realized platform, qualities automatically appear. They become the byproduct. We don't need to run behind developing those qualities. Okay? So, now we can understand this with the help of another example. Like, when do we say a person is self-realized? So, for example, we have our hand and there are 5 fingers. The day the finger starts counting itself independent, okay, independent of the body, that same day onwards, my finger is in the problem. Because now it no more wants to remain connected with the body. It wants to enjoy it himself. On this, Srila Prabhupada very nicely says, if we feed the stomach, all the parts and parcel of the body gets automatically feeded. We don't have to feed the finger separately, right? Same way, all the parts of the tree do not have to be watered separately if we are watering the root. From root, all the parts will be nourished. Now, the question is, if that is the case, then how about those leaves which are not part of the tree, which are detached from it? They are in danger. So, the day my finger loses its identity of remaining connected with the body, from that day onwards my finger is in the danger. So, self-realization for the finger is only as simple as it is part of the body. It has to work so that food, some little money to keep the body alive can be earned, and it serves the stomach. Until then, my finger is doing this work. Until then, it is win-win for the body, for the finger. That is our situation also. If we are convinced that we are the part and parcel of the Lord, and we have to serve Him. Until then, we have this understanding, we are in safe zone. The day when we want to start enjoying the things independently means we are in danger. Because in this world, we can take any example, any happiness that we get, it is called a Mishrit happiness. Okay? Mishrit means there are 2 sides of the coin. One side may look like it is going to give us happiness, but the other side, which we are not able to see immediately, is the side of the unhappiness, distress that comes in along with this. All around us, there are so much of advertisement, right? That this college, this medical college, or this school, yes, they will give you a good job. We can ask for those who are there in the good job already. Their life is so much distressful. So we will see only one side of the story. I'm not saying we should not work to keep the body alive. We will discuss it further also. So we have to work, 100% we have to work, but being at a self-realized platform. Because when we do so, anything we do becomes bhakti. Such a person does not need to need to leave the karmas. Okay? Whatever karma he does, whatever the activities he is involved into, that activity he is doing so that others who are looking at him, he should not become a wrong example for the society. Okay? People should not say, वो तो अभी हरे कृष्ण में आ गया, वो तो डिवोटी हो गया. Now he will not do his duties. No. They know their higher duty. Okay? When we are at the higher platform, we do not need to take care of the small things. Okay? We can understand this with the help of another example. When we take birth, there are so many rinas that we have. Rina of the debt of the parents, society, okay, the school, from the environment, the resources, natural resources we are using. But when we are serving the Supreme Lord Krishna, then all these debts, rinas, gets automatically paid off. Because how? The example of the root that we discussed, right? When we are serving the root, all the parts, they are the branches, they are the different, because Krishna is there in the form of the Paramatma in every living thing. So that is getting automatically served. Okay. Up to here, we have any comments, question? Can we go further? Okay. So we'll go to the purport now. Prabhuji, those who have not read, do you want to read Prabhuji? Purport? Is purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu.
Consciousness is not inactively either, as will be explained in the paper. A Krishna consciousness man does not take shelter of any person, man or demigod. Whatever he does in Krishna consciousness is sufficient in the discharge of his obligation.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, once again in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, a self-realized man is no longer obliged to perform any prescribed duty, save and accept activities in Krishna consciousness. So, we discussed this in the translation time also. So, still such a person, okay, even though there are no do's and don'ts for him, but he is still doing his duties so that he sets an example. We have so many names in our history, in our scriptures. Janaka Maharaj, he was also called Videhi. When he was alive, that time itself he was out of the bodily conception, like he was a great devotee of the Lord, father of Mother Sita and father-in-law of Lord Rama. Right? So he was a king, he was ruling the kingdom just to do the duties that he was assigned to, but he was never attached with that. We can take another very nice example of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. How many of you have heard this name? From Chaitanya Charitamrita it comes. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi was also like a royal king, very big Jamindar, okay, in West Bengal. And when Gadadhar Pandita, along with one more of his associate called Mukunda Datta, when they go, Mukunda Datta says to Gadadhar Pandit that he is a very great devotee of the Lord and today let us get his darshan. So when he goes, he was chewing the pan, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and he was sitting on his royal throne, and then so many servants were fanning, and by looking at him, nobody could say he is a devotee. And so Gadadhar Pandita, he doubted. And Mukunda understood. So what Mukunda does is, he recites one nice shloka, and as soon as Pundrik Vidyanidhi hears this shloka, he forgets his real identity, that in that environment that he is a king, and he totally becomes mad, and then he loses his consciousness out of the ecstasy and the bliss that he is getting. All the beetle thing that comes out. The moment Gadadhar Pandit sees this, oh my God, just one shloka he recited. And then we all heard, so many servants are there in that place who were serving. They did not get affected. I did not get affected. But Pundarik Vidyanidhi, when he heard this shloka, he became in so much of bliss that he loses his identity, and then he forgot his consciousness itself. Then he understands, yes, what Mukunda was telling was actually right. And then he accepts Pundarik Vidyanidhi as his guru, spiritual master. Why we are discussing this again? Because outwardly, the person may look that he is a king, he is such a such person, but they are doing those things to set an example for the society. They are the great devotee. That's why in our very important point for our life, when we want to grow in our life, in spirituality, we must not look at how others are doing their things. We never know. By looking, Gadadhar Pandit was the greatest devotee of the Lord. If we speak about him, days will go. If we see in the altar, Gaur Nitai, right? So Gadadhar Pandit is called Gaur Prananath. Days will go, trust me, discussing about Gadadhar Pandit. When he, or even Brahmaji, when Lord Krishna was eating the jhutha of all the coward boys, he got illusioned that how can he be my Lord? Brahma invited Krishna that you please appear on the earth. Mother Bhumi is in trouble, you should come. Who invited? Has it ever happened? We go to some family to invite them for a wedding. And when that person comes, we forget. We went, we prayed that person, please come. We need you to attend our wedding. And when he comes to the wedding, we are doubting, no, he's not my guest. And then I am, it cannot so happen. Okay, fine, it can happen. You and me can do it. Brahma cannot do it. Brahma is the first creator. He's our, right? On this earth, he is the first being. If Brahma, Gadadhar Pandit, can get illusioned, what is our position? So I repeat, when we want to grow in our spiritual life, we must not doubt how that person is. However good he is, however bad he is, let him be in his life. What should be our mood of looking at everything? That they are all part and parcel of the Lord. I am the servant, right? Why servant? Jivere savrup hoye nitya Krishna das. Anybody, whoever, any living being, by nature, we are the dasa, servant. We may feel, I am the master, I am the owner of this house. I have kept this and this maid, I am paying them monthly salary. Okay. We may, because of the environment, okay, the covering that we were discussing, right? It is very easy. Truth is one. All these are designations. Okay, I am this and this manager here. I am this and this owner of the house. All these are the coverings. They will die as soon as I die. Okay, so we must look at everybody at the platform of the soul. If we are not serving anybody, we are serving our own senses. On a weekend, we might feel 5 days I have worked enough. I must go and watch some movie, for example. Anything. At the end, how many weekends of the lives have gone? Have we become happy? If those weekends would have given us the real bliss, okay, my age is 41 years. Okay, divide 41 by 7. Okay, what is the outcome? 7 years, right? So 41 divided by 7 is 6. 5.9. Roughly 6, Prabhu, or 5. It means, and every week 2 holidays comes. So out of my 41 year of life, if I just count the number of days of Saturdays and Sundays, 10 years roughly. Okay, so 10 years of bliss would have given help. They would have helped me to reach somewhere else, right? If I count my weekend and so real happiness is not there. I was still serving on those 10 years, which I call proudly. I call 10 years of weekend. Oh my God, I cannot imagine a life where 10 years of Saturdays and Sundays I have lived. Okay, so by nature we are servant. We were serving our senses. Our mind was telling, go there, you will be happy. Next weekend said, no, I fooled you. Okay, next week you go there. Here, there you will get the real happiness. Third weekend again said, no, 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 that was my wrong calculation. Third weekend will come. This time we will do something extraordinary. Not 1, 2 or 3, 10 years of weekend have gone. Right? So by nature, we are servant of either our own senses or of the family or of the nation or of the country or of anything or of the dog also. When we take the dog for the morning walk, we go behind the dog, wherever the dog takes. I feel I am the owner of the dog, but I am going behind wherever the dog is going. So we have the choice. We are das. Very important point. Please, I am saying it for my own purification, first of all. We are dasa. Okay? We are dasa, servant. There is no doubt about that. If anyone of us have any doubt, let us first clarify that before we speak and discuss further. Are we all agreed up to here? We are servants. We always want to serve. We feel happiness when we serve. When we get salary at the end of the month, are we going to eat samosas of that salary? No. We know we are going to use this money for our school fees, our monthly ration or anything. And while doing so, we feel real bliss. Right? We feel so much of happiness. Are we enjoying that money on ourselves? If we spend that money on ourselves, no, we will be distressed. Oh, I'm not taking care of the family. So we feel happiness when we serve the family. So all the Prabhujis, okay, are we all agreed up to here? We are by nature. The word may sound very bad. Okay, servant. It is a fact. So the choice is ours. Okay. We are dasa. Option is 1. If we are serving Maya, okay, we always remain udasa. Okay. And if we are serving Krishna, we become bindasa. Okay. Both these words have dasa because it is our surname. Okay. Everybody in this world has the surname. Whether we use that surname, not everybody in the world is using the surname, no. If we ask somebody, what is your name? Do they tell the surname? No, they don't tell. Okay. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know. So our real surname is Dasa. Whether we use it or not. So choice is ours. Which one we want? Udasa or Bindasa? Okay. Choice. So Das we cannot remove. So further, a person who is on the self-realized platform, okay, it does not mean that they don't do their duties or for example, now I am a Krishna devotee, I don't need to wake up early from tomorrow. There are no rules and regulations for me. No. Srila Prabhupada, okay, he told he does not need to wake up early in the morning. Whichever part of the world in the universe, wherever like he is traveling, okay, if he is reaching after 24 hours of journey and if he is reaching there 4 a.m., 4 a.m. is the Mangala time. He will do Mangala Arti, irrespective of how many hours of travel he has done. If he is reaching there evening 6:30 p.m., he will do the evening Arti, even after he was traveling for last 12 hours or so. So he does not need to follow these rules and regulations because he was always in the constant touch of the Lord. He was remembering the Lord always. Still, he followed it. Okay. Once Srila Prabhupada goes to Kumbh Mela, and because of his health, he was not taking the bath early in the morning. When he found other devotees following him, to set an example. What is the best way to teach them? By following the things by ourselves. So in that morning, in that age, Kumbh Mela means Varanasi, right? So Allahabad. There, Prabhupada, in morning 4 a.m., he goes and take bath in the Ganges, cold water. So being at that platform, he was doing the things so that we don't take it wrongly. They have sacrificed their whole life. So why do they do it? So that they set an example for us. And one of the great disciple of Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, he says that if we feel we are a devotee and we don't need to wake up early, okay, we will do it for 1 or 2 days, and next day we will take blanket and we will sleep. So when we are doing sadhana, we must consider ourselves as if today is my day 1 in bhakti. I must count myself as very new. Okay, if we want to progress. If we know, same story every time I go, same class, there is nothing new. No, repetition helps us to get more and more convinced for the same things. Let us understand this. Maybe very, very important example again, this one. Why we should hear the same thing so many times? If we hear the same joke, we can laugh at it one time. Okay? If it is our boss, we may laugh at two times. If it is our kid, we may laugh 3 times. If it is wife, we have to laugh many, many more times. But there is a limit. We cannot laugh every single time. Okay? But when we hear about Lord's pastime, okay, every single time, same line, same words, same everything, same person speaking. When we hear Krishna sitting in our heart, gives a little more new realization. And we will enjoy. It's not like for the sake of saying. Because the best thing with our relations with Krishna is that it is heart to heart. So nobody has to tell that what was your realization today. That's Krishna sitting in our heart keeps us enough enthusiastic so that after all उनका भी इज्जत का सवाल है ना भगवान की भी. ध्रुव महाराज ने भगवान का भक्ति किया, 6 महीना भक्ति किया, and then Lord appeared and gave him darshan. Lord asked, what do you want? Dhruva said, no, I was asking for a small tiny pieces of glasses. You are the real jewel. I don't want anything. भगवान ने बोला कि भाई लोग बोलेंगे कि बच्चा समझ के दर्शन दिया और चले गए. मेरा भी तो इज्जत का सवाल है ना. I cannot go without paying you back anything. So same Lord who is taking care of even a baby in the womb. Every single person, whether they ask, there are people who says, I don't agree whether the God exists or not exists in this world. God does not need to take care of. Suppose in a house, okay, some corner of the house, suppose there are 20 ants and they are doing a meeting, okay, general body meeting they are doing, and the leader of those ants is saying, I don't accept any owner of this house. We are the owner. Who is talking? 20 ants. Do I need to worry? Oh, in the same house that I am paying the EMI, I work so many hours every day, I am paying the EMI of this house, and these ants are planning in my house that I am not the owner. They are telling themselves the owner. Do I need to worry about them? No, we don't care. And someday, right, if in that corner, ब्रश करने के बाद में मैंने कुरला कर दिया तो सारा का सारा बाढ़ आ जाएगा उनका, right? It will be, they all 20 ants will be flooded the day if I rinse, right? Point is, coming back to the same thing. Lord, even if somebody accept him the Supreme Lord or not, whether they accept him God or not, Lord does not need to take care. I mean, he does not need to worry. It is not a question on his supremacy. Same way as we learned in that ant example. So, that same Lord who is taking care of, now we went story, we are coming back, right? So, Lord does not need to worry about them. And same Lord who is taking care of everybody even for those who don't even accept Him as the Lord, will He not take care our care when we are surrendered to Him? Like, if we see, we are reading Bhagavad Gita, right? We are discussing about the Lord. We cannot imagine how happy the Lord is. If we count the population in Bangalore or in Whitefield Road or on this ACS road, count the number of people who exist on this road, and if we count the percentage, how many are there here discussing about the Lord, Bhagavad Gita, Lord will be super happy. So we do not need to do any great efforts to make the Lord happy. He's our supreme Father. But this small girl, right? Even if she makes any mistake, you are same loving Father to her. Right? You are her father, right, Prabhu? So if she makes any mistake or something, you will not call police, right? So same is the relation of us with the Lord, whether we have that self-realization or not. That is a different thing. But the Lord knows our relation. You know, she may not know that much how important you are for her, but you know that you have to take care. Similarly, Lord also knows. So, one beautiful line from Srila Prabhupada is that the greatest liberation is to depend on the mercy of Krishna. This is the greatest, I think this will be the last point we will be discussing. This is our greatest liberation, to depend on the mercy of Krishna. Why it is a greatest liberation? Liberation means being away from some bondage, right? If we feel ourselves dependent on the mercy of Krishna only, how it is a greatest liberation? On one side we are saying dependent, on one side we are saying liberation. How these two words can coexist together? Am I going very fast? Or is this okay? One side I am saying we should be dependent on Krishna. And if we depend on Krishna, then we are most liberated. How is it possible? Yes, Prabhu, please.
If we depend on Krishna, means we might engage our activities like chanting, serving,
Yes.
temple, playing the floor,
Yes, Prabhu.
cleaning vessels, and all those things we can enjoy engaging.
Yes, Prabhu.
In this activity itself, we can that is the liberation itself. That is
Very
the
good.
internal happiness here only. The realization comes.
Super.
by doing this.
Yes. Very well, Prabhu. Very, very nice. Very nice. So, when we are not dependent on Krishna, we are dependent on the world. Okay? His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is again a very great disciple of Srila Prabhupada, says, in this world, when we feel ourselves, we have some luxury time available. It means we are into the dangerous zone. We are in the zone of Maya. Because if we are not busy, we don't know where the Maya will take us in no time. So when we are serving the Lord, okay, means we are feeling ourselves dependent on the Lord and not on anybody else. There is one more great Vaishnava, His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj. All these names that I am saying, they have given their lives. That's why it is also a Sukriti hearing these great names. They have given their whole lives. They all are like 70, 80 years. Okay? And for last generation, 40, 50 years they have been serving Krishna. So, His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj says that, oh Lord, let nobody in the world help me. I must be fully and 100% fully dependent on you. Because if somebody else helps, I will feel gratitude for him or her, right? I want to be 100% dependent on you. Let nobody help me. Only you should help me. So that is called the dependence. And when we are dependent on the Lord, that is our permanent relation. Why we are not still happy in our life? Because we are permanent as a soul. This body is temporary. This is our first problem. We are misidentifying ourselves with this body. अगर एक चीते को बच्चे को कब को if we tell you are a small puppy, he may assume for some time, but he has a different nature. All is throughout his life he cannot remain in that conscious. It is a misfit. We are permanent. We are into this temporary body. And we are looking for permanent relations. The object that we interact with, we are trying to find that permanent happiness in that. This is my mobile. If it falls away, falls down, I have developed that relation with my in that temporary object, which is mobile. Okay, I know this mobile is not permanent. It has a life, same way that I have the life. How much pain I will have? We all experience it every day. That is a problem. Every single day, every Maya. This is the mercy of Maya. Somebody might say Maya is bad. Maya, no, it is devotee of the Lord. It is helping us day in, day night. If I do not consider myself so loving for this mobile, okay, then how bad I will feel when the mobile is broken, it is lost, stolen, or anything. I will feel very bad. That happiness we are searching in all the material objects. Okay? Srila Prabhupada beautifully says that real happiness is not in the objects. We are searching the happiness in our objects around us. That is not the real happiness. We are searching, we are identifying ourselves wrongly, we are finding the happiness in the wrong place, and then we get disheartened. Okay? Then we get disheartened. Up to here is okay. And then we complain. Boss, it was planned. It was very much expected. You are not what you are thinking yourself. You are finding happiness from the wrong place. Problem has to happen. We should not be disheartened at least. So, now again coming to the shloka. And Krishna consciousness is not the inactivity also. So Srila Prabhupada always says, Bhakti means devotional service. Okay? Bhakti means devotional service. It is not at all, it is inactivity. Inactivity means, मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना, आराम से बैठना है. That is inactivity. When we are saying Bhakti, wherever in all the scriptures, Srila Prabhupada says Bhakti means devotional service. We have to serve. Why we have to serve? Because we are servant. Okay? So, Bhakti cannot be inactivity. And why inactivity? In fact, very important rule. Okay? A very great devotee in Vrindavana had mentioned this thing. Okay? When we should be so much occupied in the services, so much services, that at the end of the day when we sleep, we must have in our mind, oh my Lord, I could not do this service. So we should not be with empty mind, empty service. Okay? When we sleep, we should be so much involved into the services that night when we sleep, we should be remembering, oh, I could not do this yesterday. So that morning when we wake up with the consciousness of that I need to do my remaining pending work. So I think we are mostly done. So once we are self-realized, such a person do not need to leave his karma. He becomes karmas leave that person. Okay, because even if that person wants to do work, okay, he reaches at that a platform that knowingly or unknowingly or however he will not be able to do the things. Until we reach to that platform, this is the time of sadhana bhakti. So Krishna Artham Akhil Chesta means all the efforts of such a self-realized person are only for Krishna. All the efforts. When we take birth, okay, nobody teaches us how to breathe. Have we ever asked this question to us? Oh my God, I am tired. Last 41 years, I am taking the breath. I should stop now. It is natural. How much of more oxygen, more air from this world I will take? I never question. Because I am identifying myself at the bodily platform. But when we identify ourselves as the servant of the Lord, our everything becomes bhakti. And then we don't question. I mean, automatically, even if we want, we have no control. Same way that we don't have any control on breathing, we will have no control on bhakti. Whatever we will do will be part of the bhakti. So, Yes. I think we are mostly done, and if you have any comments or question, we can take and done. Thank you. Hare Krishna. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, we can discuss. Otherwise, so somebody want to summarize before we close? What are the things that we learned? Any one point that you liked? Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu, please. Thanks to you, Prabhu.
Everyone is working, doing office mind, office duty, everyone. But only very limited people are practicing bhakti. Remaining people are doing the materialistic activities.
Yes.
They are not there now. At the end of their death,
Yes.
I have seen my grandfather itself.
Yes, I will.
In his young days and all, he has bad things. He has done bad things. And worst of his death, that God will give that like trailer, no, our life will trailer.
Okay.
The worst of his death, last 1 month is death, no. He is constantly remembering whole life, all the things he has done, and he used to cry a lot. And he lost the throat also, he is not able to speak. Thinking all those things, he died.
Oh, okay.
So that we may do bhakti. If you do bhakti now, that worth of the bhakti, you
Yes.
will not remember I am a developer, I am a CEO, I am a
Yes.
manager, you will not
Yes.
remember God. That
Yes.
is the difference between devotee and non-devotee.
Yes,
Our
Lord.
life will be successful and we will go back to God and serve there. These materialistic people will always serving to Maya, like
Yes.
after like
Yes.
after like.
Yes.
That is the major
Yes.
difference.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
That experience is very, materialistic experience is only 1%, but spiritual happiness is like 1 crore, 2 crore, 100 crore,
Yes.
1 lakh,
Yes.
millions of crore happiness.
Yes.
A simple logic only, people not able to understand.
Yes.
Kali Yuga.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nice point. Yes. No, Prabhu. Thanks to you, Prabhu. Thank you. So for a devotee, I heard this line in this week only. For a devotee, death means, please hear it very attentively. For a devotee, death means a change of service. तो अभी अपन मंदिर में है, ठीक है, अभी अपन को एक सेवा मिलता है, प्रभु आपको प्रसाद डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना है, ठीक है. दूसरा सेवा है, प्रसाद खाने का भी एक सेवा ही होता है वैसे वो. दूसरा सेवा मिलता है कि आपको शिला प्रभात को फैन करना है. विल वी बी वरीड? ओ माय गॉड, I was doing the seva in prasadam distribution. Today I have to fan Srila Prabhupada. No. This is not possible. We will not be worried. If the seva changes, clean the floor, we will not be worried. When the death comes, next day I am going to do a different seva. But a person who has not served Krishna, for him, death means a lot. Because he is not going to, at least as per his consciousness, Lord is so merciful, okay, the thing where we had more interest in, Lord will give us that body where we can do that sense gratification even more, okay. For example, if somebody has the habit of eating more and more non-veg, Lord will make him tiger. भाई तो जितना खाना है खा, तेरे को पाप भी नहीं लगेगा. Because in a animal life, we don't create new account, right? We suffer whatever we have done previously. So, thank you, Prabhu, and we are done. Prabhuji, you want to add something? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. Karantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.